Okay, Ken, I see you have an arraignment of pistols here, starting with a Colt single action, like the Cowboys would have used. What we're going to do here in Season 2 is Ken's going to go through all these pistols, the evolution of these pistols, these defensive pistols, and he's going to shoot some drills with it. So like always, if you want to see Ken shoot some of these drills, especially stuff like the single action Army from Colt, started it all, then you need to subscribe and catch them as they come out fresh off the press. Ken, I'll leave it in your hands.
Okay, thank you, Dave. One of the ideas we have here is this little segment we call Table Talk. And what it's about is kind of the service pistol, the sidearm, and kind of how it's evolved, particularly in America. Certainly we all understand that the evolution of the pistol, say like with the flintlock, and then later the single shot percussion handgun, were kind of last ditch weapons. Nobody really carried them primarily looking for trouble. It was something you carried as a last resort. With the introduction of the percussion Colt, Sam Colt's basic great invention in the late 1830s, say from 1840 to about 1850, the evolution of the cartridge, or of the percussion revolver, probably most famous, known as the 1851 Colt Navy, really established a handgun as a viable fighting tool or self-defense tool. In 1873, Colt introduced a cartridge revolver, at that time known as the Colt Single-Action Army. The original model in 1873 was adopted by the U.S. Army. It had a 7.5-inch barrel chambered for 45 Colt cartridge. This gun basically is the gun that kind of set the standard for fighting handguns or self-defense handguns for pretty much the remainder of the 19th century. Yes, there were other models and there were other brands, but the Colt Single-Action Army kind of stuck with us. Again, the U.S. Army took it out of service around 1890, but with the problems that came with the Spanish-American War, they basically brought it back into service. So the single-action revolver, a lot of advantages. The Colt is a piece of Americana. It is in many ways the classic revolver that most of us in America know. My time was 9.67 seconds. That's for 6 shots, thumb cocking, one-handed shooting. You notice the bit of free recoil. That was a 255 grain 45 Colt bullet going approximately 850 feet per second. Let's check the targets, gang. Okay, if you check the targets, that target's clean, nice centered hits. Dropped 1 point on the middle target, clean on the center target. So if we use my formula, 1 point down equals a second, my 9.67 becomes 10.67. Not bad for a single action revolver with real ammo, fired one-handed like they did back in the day. Out of curiosity, let's try it again. I'll use both hands to thumb cock. You'll see it's a bit quicker. Okay, we're going to try it again with what we call the modern single action shooting technique. We'll use both hands and the thumb to cock. What you're going to see is I get a little bit better control of the gun, particularly if I wrap my support hand finger around the front of the trigger guard, and typically your accuracy is improved too. Let's see how it goes. Remember, before with 1 point down, I end up with a 10.67 score. Let's see how it goes this time. Time was 9.31. A little quicker, but still the amount of recoil, even doing that, still ate up some time. Let's go check the hits. Good on this one. A little faster. Gave up a point. Same thing over there. Gave up a point. Had 2 shots that were slightly out, added 2 seconds. So I now end up with an 11.31. I actually had a worse performance using both hands. I could thumb cock the gun quicker, but speed doesn't always make up for loss of accuracy. Pretty interesting though. Serious piece of kit. Even today, I wouldn't want somebody shooting at me with a single action Army Colt.